every time I sit down to do this, I mess it up so tremendously that I take a week break to rethink my life choices and continue where I left off a week later and hope that it's not so bad the next time. And every single time I try again, it's just as bad as the time before. So today I'm hoping that I can just accept the fact that I'm gonna be a mess no matter what I do. And whatever video you get today is whatever I could churn out. It's the best that I got right now. And I'll explain that to you in a little bit. First off, sorry that it's been so long. I've had some external interruptions as far as background noise goes. My AC has been on just like its last legs, so I have a couple of window units and like 8 fans that I've been blasting nonstop to keep the temperature in my apartment reasonable. And it's not getting any better. So if you hear stuff in the background, that's probably what you're hearing. I can't turn it off or I will be sweltering in my own puddle. It's awful and I don't want to suffer while making my videos. So I will just put music over this and maybe it won't sound so bad. Now, why is it that it took me so long to make another video? The last video I made, I was talking about a werewolf that I made for Monster of the Week and how I wanted to get out of the Nobody Artist Club before my birthday. Miraculously, you guys did it. Y'all got me over 10K on Twitter, finally. So I am no longer a part of the Nobody Artist Club, but I will occasionally still host events for it and boost it as much as I can because it's cool to have made something that went viral, so much so that it is used across multiple platforms and not just the original one. My birthday did come and go and it was just as exciting as any other day of the year, so that was a fun thing. But the good news is Lucky Season 2 did premiere last month and the next episode was released last week. So we got 2 new episodes from Season 2 and we're working on the other episodes for the remainder of the season on Patreon if you want to check that out. It's been slow going. Admittedly, I got really distracted by that Monster of the Week character, werewolf thing that I made, person, Dagger, who I love very much. And unfortunately, it is one of those things where, God, can I describe this without making a complete ass of myself? Well, for example, y'all remember when I was going through that phase where all I would talk about or draw or make any sort of new content about was Sleek, which is Mags's blue scorpion character. Think that, only multiply it, amplify it by 1,000 is the complications that I'm experiencing with Dagger and this potential new, not potential, unofficial, not gonna do anything with it, I promise, series that I daydream about, even though it's not ever gonna go anywhere. At least with Sleek, the distraction was in the same house. You know, it was a character that existed within the universe of Lucky, the same lore, same concept, same alien extraterrestrial gimmick and whatnot, and even has a story and plot that intertwines with some of the characters of Lucky. Therefore, we have the collection, the spin-off. So it went hand in hand, even if it kind of deviated a little bit from the main plot. So it wasn't such a huge distraction from the story. It was more like something that I was doing on the side for fun. Now, what the hell, man? What the hell? The whole Dagger werewolf monster supernatural romance thriller thing that has been consuming my every waking thought since the very last video that I made is a problem because it's got nothing to do with Lucky and, well, yeah. But I am curbing my appetite by promising myself if I finish my Lucky episodes early enough in the month, then I can use a couple of my comic days at the end of the month to do something for this other story that I am just obsessed with right now. Or, you know, get back to making new episodes for the collection. I'm not trying to tell on myself or anything. It's just that I am distracted in 3 different directions, and that has not ever happened to me before. Moving on from that, I guess I should give you guys an explanation as to why specifically I haven't made a video that has nothing to do with background noise, because background noise is not something that I have never dealt with before in my videos. I've been doing this for 3 to 4 years. 4 years, oh my god. And we've had some background noise. It's been messy. But this time, well, how to describe this? let's just say I'm having some complicated feelings about my YouTube channel right now. No, don't worry, I'm not gonna scrap it. I'm not gonna stop making videos. I do still plan on making videos. It's just that I am rethinking my process. And if I chose a clickbaity title for this video, I'm sorry that I did that. I know that's super misleading. It's just that I wanted to get y'all's attention to make y'all watch this video so that you understand if you see changes on this channel about how I do things or how I post or whatever, this will be why. I made a video a few months ago about how I am deeply insecure about the sound of my voice on my videos, especially being a trans person, and how I'm trying to come to terms with that, or at least practice vocal training. It's not going well, as you can tell. We sound exactly the same. But that is one of the reasons why making videos gets weird for me. It gets weird. It gets complicated. And it's hard for me to pursue a hobby or a side interest or whatever when feelings about it are complicated. But it's not just that. It's that a lot of my videos, I feel like, come from a place of, well, for a lack of better words, inexperience. And I wholeheartedly, with my entire chest, put these videos out from inexperience and naivety, and thought that I was offering people the greatest advice in the world. That because I was one of the only people making these kind of videos, everybody was going to listen to me. And unfortunately, a part of that was true. And now I am worried that I have offered unto thee some terrible, terrible webcomic creating advice. Now, I don't have plans to go back and remove any of my videos, and I don't think that some of the advice that I gave was really necessarily bad. It's just that in hindsight, I probably could have given you something better now that I have done this for a little while and I have a little bit more experience, and there are actual webcomic creators out there who know what they're talking about, and somehow putting somebody in the limelight makes their opinion the most heard. In my case, the videos where I was offering webtoon advice got boosted by the algorithm, and then people were taking that as golden law, and now I'm like, well, actually, I didn't know what I was talking about 2 years ago. Sorry about that. And I also listened to some of my videos, and I'm actually going to have to stop doing that because the more I go back and listen to my videos, the more I want to delete them all. And I realized that I have this trend of making content out of this place of severe and unforgivable self-importance. This video is just turning into a very long self-drag. But I don't want to take myself too seriously on my channel. If anything, this was supposed to be a practice of me speaking out into the void, brainstorming via video formatting, and not really expecting much in return as far as engagement goes. And somehow people really, really liked what I was making. And I'm dumbfounded. Sometimes you'll see creators that just have like ass loads amount of followers or subscribers or numbers on their stuff, and you know, people will be like, man, they don't deserve that, like they didn't earn that, like blah 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 blah, this should go to somebody who's better than them. And I think that if you're going to yell at somebody for having a platform that they definitely didn't work for or definitely don't utilize, I'm probably your guy. Because this is not the first time I've had these feelings of, you have so much, you have the tools, you have the reach, what the hell are you doing with it? And I'm sitting on my hands because I am afraid. And it gets like this sometimes. It's this weird anxiety thing that people are going to perceive me wrongly. And especially whenever stuff of mine blows up on TikTok and people misinterpret something that I have done, and then I try to explain it to them and they're like, no, you're still wrong. And it's like, okay, that's a silly thing to argue with me about. If I was going to lie about cloud, I would lie about something way more interesting than a color. I'm not going to give you much context for that because I'm tired of talking about it. But it occurred to me that no matter what you do it with integrity, and you do it, you know, just because you love to do it. Somebody, if your reach gets far enough, somebody is going to make it a problem. And I don't vibe with that. That's not really my thing. I always thought I used to be terrified of speaking on the internet. When I started doing live streams and I turned my mic on for the first time, I was really scared. And I am very scared of speaking in front of people. You can ask my D&D group or my Monster of the Week group. They're all the same people, but I am one of the least talkative players. And when I do roleplay, it's always very awkward and bad because I'm so scared and I choke. And somebody made the comment in one of our recent sessions that, hey, why is this hard for you? You have an entire YouTube channel. And I thought, well, yeah, that's different. I speak to my phone. There's no live audience. And then I post it later. And, you know, most people are really receptive. Like, I'm not really worried about messing it up because it's not live. And no, I don't go back and edit any of it. But, you know, if I really say something that is really, really stupid, I will just re-record the entire thing. There's no live reaction to me being a dumbass. I think that unlocked something because now when I sit down to make my videos, I'm thinking, oh my God, what if I say something really stupid? What if I stammer? What if I get tongue-tied? What if I say something that it could be misinterpreted? And it's like, I don't have control over those things. And I don't want to be bogged down with this, what's the word I'm looking for? This pressure to edit the hell out of my videos, because that's never been who I am as a creator. And I don't intend to do that. But I think to alleviate some of my own anxiety when it comes to creating my videos and posting them publicly for the world to see, I'm gonna do a couple of new things. And we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try it out once or twice, and if I like it, I will continue, and if I don't, I guess I'll just go back to the old formula. I've mentioned a few times before that these would probably be a lot better if I scripted my videos a little bit more. And I like the free flow of just sitting here and talking to my phone, to my microphone, and not having any real plan. The problem with that is there's more opportunity for me to say something dumb or to forget what the video was supposed to be about and then end up talking myself in circles for 40 minutes, which is something that I do a lot. And I know that people will either listen to my videos and think that the ramble is intentional, or they will listen to it and realize this dude is just talking in circles. There is no rhyme or reason here. I'm just listening to some guy listen to himself talk because he likes the sound of his own voice. And while some of that is true, maybe not for that exact reason. So in making new videos, I think I'm gonna try to do loose scripts for them moving forward. Because one of the other things, and this is gonna sound really stupid as somebody who has been working on a webcomic for 6+ years, this should be common sense. One of the things that makes making my webcomics so easy is having my script and thumbnails already finished. The prep work. The prep work is so important because it takes away the mental load of figuring it out as you go. If you're prepared, then it's less anxiety about messing it up because you are flying by the seat of your pants. And that's kind of been my MO for making videos for the longest time, is just flying by the seat of my pants. If something comes to me, I will talk about it, and we'll see where it goes. And that's why a lot of the times when I'm making videos for this channel, I scrap my audio because I will think of something cool to talk about. I'll sit down to talk about it, and I'll realize after wasting 40 minutes of my life that I hate the entire recording and I'm not going to do anything with it. I don't want to do that anymore because it's a waste of time, and then I feel bad because nothing came of it. And so it's like, well, I could have done something more productive, and I wanted to make a video, but now I can't because I don't like the audio and I ran out of time to record anything. So moving forward, when I start making newer videos after this one, this will be the last ramble video. I don't know if you can tell that that's what this is. I'm being sarcastic. But this will probably be the last ramble video I make for a while. Moving forward, I'm going to try to make videos that are a little bit more scripted, and if for nothing else, might make them a little bit shorter. Some of you really like the long videos, and I love you for that because it makes me feel less insecure about the fact that I will just talk about nothing for almost an hour, and some people still really like it. But I'm going to try to stay away from doing that for a little bit, just to kind of practice seeing if I can condense my ideas a little bit more. And maybe every once in a while I will do a ramble video just to get it all out of my system, because I know there's still an audience for that. They won't be every single video, but they won't be completely gone. Another thing that I'm going to start doing, which might be less, well, I have always wanted to figure out a way to integrate my Patreon with my YouTube channel. Now, my Patreon was not primarily to support my YouTube channel. YouTube has always just kind of been like a thing that I do. It helps me promote my stuff. It helps me brainstorm out loud in front of thousands of people. But it was never really supposed to be a way for me to make money. And recently, when I get those feelings of, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna just stop making videos, I don't need to have a YouTube anymore because people are mean and I don't want to deal with mean people. When I get those feelings, it's so funny because it's always when I'm deep in the mindset of, yeah, I'm done with YouTube, that I'll occasionally get a nice little paycheck from them. It's not big, it's not significant. It'll probably pay for my gas for a couple of days. So it's something. And then it's when I get that I'm like, why waste it? Why waste it? You have a golden opportunity to do something with the platform that you have, to not only connect with other people and create a community of artists and webcomic creators who enjoy what you enjoy and want to connect with the things that you're making, but also an opportunity for you to reach out and find more opportunities. So yeah, I don't want to waste this, not only because it makes me money every once in a while and it helps me boost my stuff, but because I have found some really amazing creators through my YouTube. Like, a lot of people that I looked up to, webcomic people that I looked up to, have reached out to me and become mutuals of mine because they were like, I found your YouTube and I really like what you were doing. And I'm like, oh, great, that's embarrassing for me, but awesome. It's like I will put something on the internet and then somebody that I really admire finds it and they're like, hey, I like this thing you made. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Please don't look at it. Please don't perceive me. I'm going to cry. So, long story short, I'm rambling. I am going to start, when I start making videos regularly again, which could be this week or the next. Some news here that I didn't mention at the beginning of the video. My child has started school, which means I have a few hours in the middle of the day of quiet time. I'm usually just using it to churn through commissions and whatnot, getting my work done so that I can go to bed at a decent time. I'm still getting used to that schedule. He was sick for a couple days this week, so this is only technically his 4th day of school. I have some quiet time during the week, so I might have more time to make more videos. I might be able to set up a regular schedule for me to plan and create my videos. It's gonna be nuts. I have a opportunity here that I'm not really sure what to do with, so we'll see how it pans out. But what I want to do is I'm going to start posting them to my Patreon first. So, and that is for any tier Patreon. You don't have to be $10 and up. You can be low, bottom tier, and you will have access to those videos. It is only early access, for the record. I'm not posting them there behind a paywall to where nobody can watch them ever. I'm only going to post them there a week early, and then once it's been up there for a week, I will post it publicly to my YouTube channel. And that's just a way to, it doesn't really matter right now because I'm so few and far in between with my videos as of right now, but it's just a way to kind of, if you want early access to those videos, you want to be ahead of the game, then you get that VIP pass where you can have the videos before anyone else and you get to support me hand in hand. So 2 birds, 1 stone. I understand that that's not really going to be everybody's cup of tea. Again, it's really just primarily for people who want to support me. if you want to support me through my Patreon, you have early access to those videos, and then after about a week, I'll post them publicly. So it's not mandatory. It's just kind of like a little sprinkle on the cupcake. Sprinkle, icing on the cupcake. Icing and sprinkles. There you go. One of the things I also like to do to motivate people to check on my Patreon is see what I do. This was such a bad example because I have had exit reviews on my Patreon of people saying like, get your shit together. More or less. Don't read your exit reviews, but also sometimes you do because you need to figure out where the problem is and if it's something that you need to work on. Sometimes people will leave mean stuff just to be mean, and you might get misgendered a lot. So just for the record, if you're going to support me on Patreon, you should know that my pronouns are he, they. Thank you. But one of the things that I like to do to motivate people to go check out my Patreon is to say, well, see, it's working for me. I make like $1,500 a month. So bare minimum, you could go pledge and check out my stuff and see like what I post and, you know, what makes me successful, which is BS. Basically, I can just tell you from the outside looking in, I just post adopts and spoilers to my webcomic and works in progress for my commissions. And occasionally I'll post polls for people to choose what I'm going to do for certain projects. So for example, once a month I'll post a poll for adoptables, which this month, August, I kind of bombed on adoptables. I still have the opportunity to redeem myself because I'm doing horror movie tropes for a couple of adoptables this month. I'm really excited about that. But I'll let people choose the theme of the adoptable for the month. That is one thing that I do through Patreon. Another thing that I do is when I'm working on a project, like I am going to make a new lucky banner only for me. I mean, if Webtoon wants to use it, then hell yeah, absolutely. But I'm just making it for my Patreon/Twitter so that I can make a new pinned tweet and whatnot. And, you know, just kind of update my socials because I haven't made a new lucky banner since 2019. Or 2020. Yeah. I let them choose what I was going to do for that banner because I couldn't make up my mind. And sometimes it'll happen. I'll be working on a project and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I have a couple of different options. And so I'll just put it to a poll. I'll let my patrons decide for me. Or worse, I will put up a poll and I will let them vote, and then ultimately it will help me decide what I want to do most. So sometimes, and this rarely happens, like in this instance with the lucky banner, the winning vote was something that I was like, yeah, I really want to do that. Sometimes I will get a poll and people will vote on something and then I realize, ooh, this is the winner, but I actually really wanted to do this other thing. So yeah, it'll just help you kind of break the mental tie that you have with yourself. But I'm rambling. That's what we're doing right now. I don't know. I just like talking about my Patreon on occasion, but those are the plans for the videos moving forward. I'm going to try to script them a little bit more often. I have done a poll once or twice through my Patreon to see what sort of videos people would be interested in. I'm going to start doing that more regularly. So once a month when I do my adoptable polls, I'm also going to be doing YouTube video polls so people can choose topics and things that I can talk about that month. That will be decided by my patrons, and it helps take away that decision paralysis that I get with making my videos. It gives me a little less to stress over, and it also gives my patrons an opportunity to be a bit more hands-on with my YouTube channel. So that's a fun thing that I'm going to include. So those will be a little bit more scripted, a little bit less chaotic, not so long and rambly, and they will be for the first week. They will only be available through Patreon, and that is for all tiers, not just, you know, the high ones, but the very bare minimum tiers as well. And then after a week of being posted on Patreon, I will post them to my YouTube channel publicly, just to kind of help me ease back into it, and also to help integrate it into my Patreon a little bit more, because I am trying to find new and interesting ways to motivate people to support me there if they want to. I am not going to bully anybody into giving me any sort of monetary support. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's it. That's as easy as it is. If you just want to consume my content for free, and you absolutely can, then you are absolutely welcome to. I make what I make for everybody as much as I can. But if you do want to help support me, and you want to help support my dream of making my webcomics full-time, not just lucky, but also the collection, and then maybe eventually this Dagger comic. Working title, Haunting Dagger. Don't quote me on that, because that's probably really cheesy, but I like it, and it works with the webtoon format. Then please consider checking out my Patreon. It's the best place that you can support me and my small child who is now attending school, and me buying his cutesy little lunches every single day. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Don't cry. It's okay. It's only his birthday. That's the best place that you can support me and my goals of just being this ass backwards artist all the time who likes to make comics about shapeshifters and werewolves. Apparently that's a new development. I'm having fun with that one. I'd love to make a video just talking about that if y'all are interested. But yeah, and if you want to follow my day-to-day, you can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, all under CaezHel, same as my YouTube channel. And if you haven't yet, please go check out my webcomic Lucky. Season 2 has premiered, and I'm working on new episodes through my Patreon. It's an LGBT sci-fi drama about a shapeshifter who travels to Earth to escape his destiny, but there's a bounty hunter there who has other plans for him. There is a character for everybody. I love making this comic. It's my passion project. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. Even if I start other comics, I am going to see Lucky through to the end because it's my baby. That's my son. That's my child. I love it very much. Not to be confused with my real life son, who I love infinitely more than this comic. But I don't share him because I'm stingy and I'm very protective. But second to that is my webcomic, and you can check that out for free on Webtoon Canvas. And if you've already read Lucky and you want to read something by me and Mags, go check out the collection. It is a spin-off series for Lucky based off of some of Mags's characters, and there are also some Lucky character cameos. It has one of my favorite characters of all time, Sleek, big blue scorpion, non-binary, love of my life. We're getting married. You're all invited this December. For the record, it's going to be a winter wedding. Colors are blue and red. I know that that clashes, but you know, we're going with the whole blue versus red ship trope, etc., etc. And cash gifts only, please and thank you. No animals, but children are allowed. We love kids. So I will see you guys in my next video. I really appreciate you all sticking around, and I know that this was kind of a mess. It's kind of hard for me to articulate my feelings, but basically, end of the day, I want to continue making YouTube videos. I do enjoy having my YouTube channel for a multitude of reasons. One, I kind of get paid for it on occasion, and two, it helps me connect with creators that otherwise I wouldn't have had a chance in hell with connecting with. But I do get big anxiety about it sometimes, and I am trying to overcome that in a few different ways. So we'll see how it goes, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Or even if you just want to, you know, yell at me on Twitter or wherever, you can do that. I will be around. All right, bye guys.